Hello everyone. Welcome to another Hello everyone. Welcome to another Coding and Philosophy podcast.
I'm here with Juho.
I'm here with Tri.
Mm-hmm.
And we are two sound engineers now. We got two instead of one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at how the sound looks, and Tri is listening how the sound sounds.
Well, I'm hesitant to consider ourselves to be sound engineers. I just say that we have a mechanism to receive feedback from our voice. Otherwise, it can be such an insult to actual sound engineer who knows so deep about the system, and we're barely just a tiny bit of scratch on top of the surface.
But I would say we're the best sound engineers in this room right now.
Yes.
We're the best sound engineers in this building as of now.
Populations equals 2, so yes, by default, we are the best.
Yeah. For this episode, I think, before we turned on the mics, we were having a chat about, let's say, different personality types, different archetypes that people are, you know?
Yeah.
And I like to look at it, and also about the way, but if we delve deeper into the archetypes, so I think you meet similar types of people a lot of the time, I would say, right? Or at least when I meet someone new and I have my first interactions with them, I go into my memory and I go, okay, what type of archetype this person is. And I always find a resemblance.
Yeah.
And the more deeper you get to know the other person, the more accurate you can your archetype might change, but it you cross-reference it with the other people of this type that you have interacted with.
Mm-hmm.
And that allows you to, first of all, better understand their motivation and what type of a person they are, and see them more clearly, right?
Yeah, I can see. So, because you have already interacted with a person who may share the same prototype or personality type as a person in front of your eyes, so you kind of know how to engage and interact with that person because you have and experience and acquaintances dealing with the same type.
Yeah, and it also allows you to, let's say the person gives you advice, is this good advice or is this bad advice, right? Because you are able to
Yeah. I just realized, because when we're talking about that, a part of me just reveals to me what personality type I may belong to, or the psyche of me in action.
Do you want to share?
I want to share because in the beginning of our podcast, I was pointing out the semantic meaning of a word, which is sound engineers, right? So what my psyche was wanting, it wanted the accuracy of a word. That's so thinking oriented. Because I want accuracy of a description of the word.
But is that's a very... Well, yeah, I think if you have a certain personality type, you appreciate the accuracy of the words more
than other.
More than others. But I think everyone can appreciate, the accuracy of some people's words. Like if you meet someone and they're very precise with their words, you go, wow, that's very impressive. And everyone's impressed.
And that's the tendency of a personality type. There's the specific behaviors when you inflate the meaning of the words. For example, improv show, they exaggerate the meaning and exaggerate the behavior, make it more, the accuracy, it's not there anymore, but it's become something caricature and parody. So it's not the meaning, the specific accuracy, but it becomes a comedy because it expands.
I'm lost on what you mean by the accuracy of the...
Back to the original point, I just point out the fact that my psyche, when it's pointing out that the sound engineering, the sound engineering meanings, it craves for it was wanting for accuracy, and it expresses desire by trying to correct, saying what it thinks it's correct.
As opposed to a caricature, which is a more generalized view on. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Because given the response that you say, oh, we are sound engineer, of course I can put myself in an impromptu personality. Oh yeah, we're sound engineer. Waka waka waka.
Yeah.
See. So it follows along the thread of idea. But my initial response was, well, actually, sound engineer like this.
That's true. And that's a very, let's say, an engineering type of a mindset, because you always look for the accuracy and you always look for the tiny details, and you are more precise than someone, let's say, who's more, will do them like, they're gonna work like about like this, which is, we need both people, because we need the let's say the curse of engineers is that
we don't need customer service people. Just kidding. That's a bad joke.
Yeah. So the engineers, the curse of us, or the curse of engineers, is that we spend too much time. We might over-engineer. We forget that, it's not about it's about what we're trying to do. It's not about the over-engineering. That's the word, right? So you're not over-engineering your...
I think you are over-engineering your thought.
Hmm?
I think you are over-engineering your thought.
Yeah, which is... Exactly. That's what I did. I tried to sound way too profound in a way.
Yeah. God bless us with our flaws.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's why we need different types of people, because we all have our strengths and our weaknesses. And we also have our, let's say, inclination to value things more than others. So we value, like I said, everyone can appreciate someone who is very precise with their words, but a person who values preciseness of their words will attain that.
Precision of the world. I have to say that. Now I have to say that. My engineering, it's a precision, not preciseness.
Yeah, precision.
See?
So, see?
My brain in action.
Yeah, so...
Yep.
But
that can be sometimes a party pooper, because desire and the craving for accuracy and always demand for the most accurate representation of something, it kills the fun, because sometimes the fun is found in the comedy and the parody of a thing.
That's where let's call it the emotional intelligence or the situational awareness also comes in, because you want to utilize your strengths when they are needed.
Yeah.
But you don't want to.
Shut the fuck up when you
exactly.
don't eat it.
Yeah, shut the fuck up when you're like, you want to, let's say, limit your weaknesses. Like when you start going in a, let's say, in an improv show that's not actually how engineers talk. That's not very accurate. Then people are going like, shut up. So you want to assess the room and see how other people are feeling about this. And that's also, let's say, there is an archetype or personality that is more, let's say, tuned to the atmosphere of the room. And they are able to very clearly see what is the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Not everyone has that ability.
What is that personality type again?
Well, I don't know. The personality types are so...
You are using the coding of red, yellow, green, and blue.
Yeah.
Then,
so I call those people the green people.
The green people, all
because
right.
They're very...
Where do you get that color coding from?
I read a book once called The Idiots Around Me.
Joo, idiotti ympärälläni.
Exactly. So it helped me put this thing into words. and to make it into something that I can. It basically gave me a map of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, as an engineer, you need some kind of map or blueprint so that it helps you to navigate onto the world.
Exactly.
So that you're not frustrated by the fact that there are so many people.
But it's also remember to keep in mind that this is just a theory. Basically.
Yes, a map is not the territory.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the most accurate representation of the world, the map. It's just a.
The world is messy. People are messy.
So, but so to explain what we're talking about, the idiotit ympärillä, the idiots around me book, it categorizes or basically says that there's 4 different personality types. The green people, the yellow people, the red people, the blue people. So think about yellow people, they're often salespeople. They're very outgoing, very expressive, they talk a lot. They like to be around people, right? And then you have, let's say...
They also like fun.
Yeah.
And they're quite entertaining.
Yeah, so
yes.
they
Shout out to yellow people.
They would be in the improv group, they would be there to they would be performing. They like to perform. And then you got the green people who, they're also very into people, and they are like customer service. Like that's what they usually, you find them in. So they like to please. They want harmony. They are happy if you're happy. All right. They are really into people as well, and they want to please. And then you have the red people who are often they're more into things than people. So they're very, let's say, and they aren't afraid of conflict, and they want to be in charge. So someone like a McDonald's manager, I would categorize as a red person, or someone who has what's another example of a red person, or like where they would usually work in. I think managerial roles, that's a good example anyways. But yeah, and then the final is blue people who are more, they're engineers, they're like us. Yeah. They think about the problems and they point them out as we have.
Those profound thinkers.
Yeah.
Not necessarily engineers. I can see that philosophers also fall into this bin.
That's true. Anyone who likes to think deeply. Blue is a good color because... Exactly. Because of that and because of the Blue Men Group. I've never seen them actually. I've only heard about them. They play drums or something and they dress them up. Color themselves blue. But the blue, when I think about water in general, it's water. Still. Yeah, water. It's still. And it's it's deep. I don't know what I'm saying. But blue...
that's just an oxymoron. A profound thinker who doesn't know what he's saying.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. That I just point out the logical inconsistency. My brain in action again.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. But that's the thing, is a blue person is never sure about anything.
Are you sure?
I am. Because I once saw this, was it like a meme or something? That the reason the world is kind of screwed up because the let's call it the unrefined, the stupid people are full of confidence, and the smart people are full of doubt.
Or skepticism. Yeah, I prefer the word skepticism more than doubt for some reason.
Well, let's say that your 2 people are in front of a crowd. Yeah. One is very sure of himself. This is the way things are. Yes. I believe this is the way things are. Yeah. And then you have the other person who is more intelligent but goes, look, I'm not entirely sure, but I think this is the way. People see, oh, this guy's not sure. Let's pick the guy who's sure. He's very sure.
Yeah, that's a very crowded reactions.
Yeah. So that's why politics doesn't work, because we're so... this is the greatest, and I think this is from some Greek philosopher. basically the
Well,
originators of democracy.
I think I take my word back.
Hmm?
I take my word back because the world is inherently a messy place.
Hmm?
So we need the role model who can claim to be certain and sure, and we look up to them as a leader. I think that's a human underlying desire and motivation.
That's true, but let's say if you have an unrefined mind, you or let's say this, let's say you have a refined mind and you see someone who's not sure but they're making like logical claim, then you're kind of going to you understand them, you empathize with them. But let's say you're less unrefined and you don't even fully understand, you're not listening what two people are saying, you just see, oh, this person sounds sure, this person doesn't sound sure.
Sound sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Fine and refine.
yeah. So, but the argument against democracy is that if you have a candy shop owner and a doctor debating or fighting for the favor of the crowd, who's gonna win? Well, the candy shop owner can say, "Hey, look, I give you all the candies you want, and when you leave my place, you're happy. You're really I bring you pleasure. And look at this doctor. When you go to him, you're sick, and he gives you medicine that tastes bad. It's all so horrific. Why don't you I'm your pal. Favor me." And then the doctor can just say, "Look, yes, I'm giving you medicine. It doesn't taste good, but it's making you healthy." The crowd goes, "Boo! You suck. We like the candy shop owner. He makes us happy. Yeah, yeah, yeah." So,
Touche. Yeah, that can actually happen in real life. I see your point.
So because we are emotional animals.
Yes,
We're
we
not
are. Yes, we
rational. We are, but
Well, we have desire, motive, and we think for our pleasure, and we avoid pain.
that's our natural way of existing, is to avoid pain and to basically be driven by our, I like to use this word, primordial instincts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you say it's the same thing. It's primordial and instincts are the same. Yeah.
Tautology.
We're 19 minutes in.
Shall we try to wrap this up with a very meaningful philosophical story?
Sure.
Or a takeaway that our audience can benefit from his or her day-to-day life?
Yeah. I think, well, we did touch on
How do you use your color coding or your mental model of the personality type to help you navigate in this messy world?
When you meet people and when you interact with people, you put them on your color map, basically. Okay. And that allows you to, because the best way to interact with people is to mirror them. And the way you communicate efficiently is that you talk in the way that they talk and you behave in the way that they behave.
Oh, that is actually no, because you should stick to all your authentic self, because it's so hard to imitate other people if it's go against your nature.
No, but no.
I cannot put myself into the mind of the people who are very people-pleasing.
But if you meet someone who is a very people-pleasing person or you walk with them, then you need to be able to understand how they think. You need to be able to empathize and sympathize. And the more you understand them, the better, and the more you understand their motives and the why they do things, then you can communicate with them better and you can, lead them better, for example. And you can, leading is communication, basically. Communication, it wraps everything into, or everything wraps into it at the end of the day, right? At least in my definition. So, if you the way you use these color codes or this color map is you know how to it allows you to mirror other people and communicate with them more efficiently. And that's really the book, the Idiots Around Me book. It was written by the sales guy who wanted to, he's teaching you how to understand people better.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing, is there was a controversy when the book came out because people think he it was
Oversimplified.
yeah.
But it's like,
I don't know what the controversy even was. Everything is a controversy. I oftentimes look, what is the controversy here? But just if you read between the lines, there's a lot of very useful information there.
Mm.
And there's a lot of very, yeah.
And again, this is just a tool to help you navigate in life.
Exactly. And yeah. True. So I think that's a good wrap up. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Coding and Philosophy. And I think next time we're going to try to get two guests. Let's not spoil it. Let's not spoil it.
My brain craving for accuracy in action. Yeah, we'll
But
have 2 guesses. With that being said, that marks the end of our podcast.
Thank you.
Episode.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.